Cooler's taken especially long to ready up here because he really needs to get himself ready in the game. Actually, Stermy just called ready for Cooler, and Cooler was like, okay, I'm ready. So Cooler now needs to win 2. This is one map he's got to take, and we are live. And off the spawn,
my God.
Cooler gets the worst spawn you can possibly get. Both of them spawn in the red armor area. Stermy gets the plasma and the red armor and the kill. Luckily, for Cooler, he did get a decent spawn over by the Mega, so he's taken away that at least. And Stermy doesn't have the railgun just yet. So Cooler, I would say that's a free frag for Stermy, but certainly right now, how it plays out, they are both very even, but Stermy's hitting some great rockets. I think the splash damage off that rocket wasn't so powerful because it hit a small little ledge. Lucky for Cooler, I think he got away with a lot of his armor. He's actually up to 84 after the yellow, and he's even got the railgun that Stermy doesn't have. So this is really bad for Stermy, but it's not even the railgun. 2 rockets, going to bring us to a 1-1 game, and Cooler is just going to pile into this room. Oh, wow. A rocket jump over to try and get into the face of Stermy, but he's not even there. He knows he shouldn't be in that room, and he can't contend with a Cooler on this much health and armor.
Right now, nice big stack for Cooler. 160, 190, and he's going to move in here onto that lower level, out of rockets, and, well, Stermy's positional change really helped him out the fact that he didn't have any rockets, because he can now move in LG and Rail for this fight, and we're going to actually have the Mega Health. That rocket did land, but after the Mega Health was picked up. And the only good thing here for Stermy is that he's now moved over, got himself the red armor, but he did get railed as well.
Yeah, but he's brought us back even right now, Stermy. He's got about as much power up as Cooler. Maybe Cooler just got a little bit more picking up the yellow. But Stermy, with that defensive rocket shot, has brought us back to an even game. So this red armor fight, if they both choose to take it, is going to be huge. Cooler hits the initial railgun shot. I think he might have even got hit at the same time. I was actually watching, flicking between the screens just as it happened. And here comes the RA fight that could separate these 2 players in terms of score. Stermy did take the worst of it. He's actually got away with no armor whatsoever. Looking for a railgun as Cooler comes through the teleporter, hits it nicely. But he's got a tough time now, Stermy, because he's only got 50 armor, 71 health. Cooler is in on that red armor area, and Stermy needs to pressure that red armor, but I don't think he can. He might just look for a railgun shot. Yes, he is. But Cooler cleverly, bunked up against the wall on the left, and didn't allow that shot to be taken. So Cooler takes no damage and retains a heavy stack, and that's really scary for Stermy here.
Good rail there from Stermy, though, was Cooler trying to get over into that Mega Health room, and it's going to spawn here in just a second. And look at that for a rocket from Cooler.
100 damage rocket, I'm sure.
Yeah, red armor up in just a few seconds. Stermy's down there. Cooler going to drop right on top of him, and it's an easy frag for Cooler, who actually left the red armor there for a second. Again, just delaying things out a bit.
Yeah, he's done that a couple of times, and it's really worked out for him. He's had the 2 main power-ups now in sync, and it looks like if he picks up the Mega, he would have taken both the big power-ups twice in succession. Here comes the fight. He should finish off quite nicely with the LG, and does so. And, as soon as he picks up the shards, which, hugely important. There's a lot of armor in this room, actually. But never underestimate that Mega room with the yellow and the shards. And then he's in time perfectly for the RA, and Stermy's just got to leave. And if he gets railed, that's the worst thing, but railed twice, 4-1.
Oh, and Cooler almost had the angle for that one, and that's a nice little rocket jump up there. Stermy having no chance there with no weaponry to work with against Cooler.
One of the worst places to get frag as well in that room, because your opponent, if he frags you well, can come back into RA, and you really don't have much to say about it. So you just kind of have to take the railgun and hope you can get out without getting pinned, or maybe get a spawn above at the LG if you're lucky.
Good rockets from Stermy this time, though, and he's actually managed to steal away that Mega Health, whilst putting out a little bit of damage to his opponent as well. 6 minutes to go in this one. Still 4 points the lead for Cooler. Well, we've got a good few seconds here until this next armor's up, and the rockets are perfect. Stermy had a good position there with the LG, but Cooler fell, I think, just out of his reach, behind the pillar. And a great place to drop down there for Cooler.
Yeah, Stermy set it up nicely. We'll have to see how this one finishes off. So far, it looks like Cooler is going to hit the shot. And just checking on Cooler's railgun accuracy, he hasn't needed to use it much, but he is at a 50%. Not so much on the LG, but still, rocket railgun for Cooler this game's been so good. And there comes another kill as we move closer to the 5-minute mark. And a definitely different pace in Cooler here. He's really, just by maintaining control on the items, Stermy hasn't had a big enough stack of health and armor to really do any real damage. And at the same time, with Cooler hitting such good railgun accuracy between the items, you know, Stermy hasn't been able to get that stack because of that railgun. So it's really just been really tough here for Stermy. So with 7 frags of difference and Cooler just absolutely destroying Stermy with an LG, I'm not sure if this one's going to be possible. We might have to see a 1-1 and a final map, which is always good.
Yeah, I mean, 8 frags to bring back, especially when, you know, Cooler's still in control here. Maybe if Stermy had just picked up that control and he was in a position to, you know, really start bringing this back, it'd be a different story. But at the minute, it's all about the Russian. With 4.5 to go, he's looking good to maybe send us through onto that Lost World DM13 tiebreaker map.
Yeah, DM13 is a great map for these two to finish.
Yeah.
LG, Rockets, and just Smarts, you know, will factor into it so much, and that's really where we're going to see a great game between them.
Oh, out comes Stermy again. He's got Cooler quite low, and yellow armor probably going to save Cooler. Stermy's already backed away to get his positioning on this red armor, but he has to be careful. Cooler's actually making his way in, and look at the rockets from Cooler. Absolutely brilliant. Not much Stermy could really say about that one. He just moved in for the attack. The rockets were so perfectly placed, he couldn't do anything about it.
Wow. Cooler calls GG.
Wow.
3 minutes 48 before the game's even over. Maybe he's got a bind that says GG, and he did it accidentally.
Yeah,
but
sure.
He did actually stop, and then GG came out, and that's a kind of a disrespectful thing to do. I mean, you'd normally want to save your GGs to at least the game's finished. Or, you know, when you're in your hotel room and quite safe, or something like that. But, like, you know, they are both in the tournament area, so I think Stermy's not going to be happy with that one. And, you know, and maybe, you know, Cooler sometimes takes the game out of the game. Great rocket there as well. But, you know, annoying Stermy.
That's the kind of thing that'll really get to Stermy,
yeah,
though.
and he wants that. Sure, he's Italian. Of course he's meant to, you know, flare him up. Why not?
They'll beat on you. I'm not sure that Stermy will necessarily do anything like that.
But you know, certainly it's a great kind of thing to do. You're at a tournament. You know, we see it in all different types of sports. You know, how sportsmen talk to each other, and you know, if you do something like that and it makes your opponent mad, then you know that he could play bad because of it. But you know, certainly there, Stermy just hits a couple of great railguns, so hopefully he just ignores the comment.
It can work both ways as well, though. I mean, it can just give Stermy more determination to destroy him on DM13. So, yeah. Well. We've still got 2.5 minutes to go, which is, you know, surprising. Still plenty of time, and it'd be quite interesting now if Stermy is able to bring this back to like a really close game. I'm not sure that would
finish it off nice and strong. That's all Stermy really wants to do right now. Finish off the map strong and show Cooler that he can frag him, he can get him. And look, Cooler just wants him to play into his railgun, wants to make him feel stupid that he chases and just eats so much damage. And you know, it's not even hard for Cooler to hit those shots when someone's, you know, jumping in a straight line at you. So, you know, Stermy won't be able to get a kill like that. He might if he gets a second railgun here. Nice little jump move, but there again, Cooler lays down a perfect dodge and rocket onto Stermy, and that makes him feel like, oh, you know, it didn't happen again, and got to get the Mega. But he's actually going to peek into the RA area. No Cooler to be found, so going to take the Mega while he's got the chance, and the RA has gone. So a strong finish for Stermy, at least, you know, with a 15-3 scoreline would be nice for him. But DM13, there is no real, you know, you can't let emotions get the better of you on that map. That map is, you know, just a huge tactical map. It really kind of, you know, tests your mentality, your mental strength out so much, because there's so much to think about in terms of positioning and where your opponent is and isn't.
Yeah, and you can see from Stermy the way that he's playing and keeping that rail out the entire time. He's just, you know, he knows this game's over, or this map's over at least, and he's just got to put it out of his mind, basically, and move on to that third map. It's all even once again, and it all comes down to just 10 minutes of DM13 to see who moves through into the final.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to DM13, because I don't think it's going to be anything like this in terms of score-wise. Yeah. I think it's going to be so close, because both players are so good at it. They know how to play it almost perfectly on a defense, which makes it, you know, so difficult to actually get those you know, frags in for the player who should be playing offense, which is when you have, you know, obviously more power-ups and etc. and maybe weaponry, but normally both players work their way around to get enough weapons each. I think it's going to be a great game. So this one's certainly been good as well. Cooler showing us that he can beat Stermy on his home map as well as Stermy take Cooler's. And he's also, oh, look at that rocket from Stermy, flicking Cooler over. And Cooler has hurt Stermy. You can hear that he's really, really hurt there. And probably one railgun shot won't finish him now. He had a bit of armor to his name and health. But there we go. Map 2 over. Cooler actually hitting 5 impressives with the railgun compared to Stermy's 2. So that's a big difference. And I honestly thought that Cooler was going to play, around the railgun with the factoring in